allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do a roll call starting to my right.
Rick Moore,
Andrew Greenwood.
Susie Paul, James Romell.
First order of business. Council business Sundown Gardens tax abatement request. How was everyone this evening? Good. My name is Sam Marsh. I'm here on behalf of Sundown Gardens. We're getting ready to construct a garden center here in Bargersville. I think most of you are aware of that project. We're located on 135. Our current Sundown Gardens is in Westfield. We have been there for 6 years. I started in Carmel, moved to a new location in Westfield 6 years ago. That retail operation has taken about 5 years to break even with the cost of development. There's been other subsidiaries of that company, as far as a landscape company, that's helped support the retail operation to get up and going. So the one down here that we're getting ready to build is going to be bigger, obviously going to cost a little more. So we're asking for this tax abatement for 10 years and the vertical improvements of 1.1 million. Amanda is with me to help support your guys' numbers for you guys to make that decision on that. As far as employees, we're going to bring 2 long-term employees, Brian and Mary Kirschner. There's 3 newly hired employees, myself, my fiance, another gentleman about my age that they hired on within the past 18 months in Westfield, and now they're standing to bring them to the Bargersville location. So the last 18 months has been a training program for us in Westfield. So we're going to relocate 3 employees here. My fiance and I actually live in Bargersville. The other gentleman just bought a house in Lakeland. So we're here in the community. And then we have the plans to add 3 more full-time employees along with the 5 that I just discussed, and a few seasonal part-time employees as well throughout the year. Our total investment on property is $3.5 million. Our vertical improvements, like I said earlier, is $1.1 million, so that's what we'll be asking for the tax abatement for. And again, we're asking for that 10-year tax abatement on infrastructure. However, we can defer to council's preferences.
My name is Amanda Revedue, and I'm the Vice President of Economic Development for Aspire, Johnson County. And so just kind of wanted to give you a quick rundown of what those numbers would look like and what the process would look like for approval for a potential tax abatement for Sundown Gardens. They are not currently in an economic development target area, so one of those would need to be approved before you could consider tax abatement for their location. So that would need to go through that process. But as far as a 10-year abatement, if you're looking at phasing in taxes over 10 years for that $1.1 million investment, would be 10% per year. And their total savings would be $109,000, but you would the town would still receive $89,393 over that 10-year period. If we're looking at a shorter investment period, I'm glad to share those numbers as well if there's if you would like. So if you go ahead. All right. If we're looking at a 7-year for that 1.1 million, the total savings for Sundown Gardens would be $74,494. And the town over that 7 years would receive $64,562, be phased in about 15% per year. And then a 5-year for that $1.1 million investment phased in at 20% per year. The total savings for Sundown Gardens would be $59,595, where the town would receive $39,730 over that 5-year period. Any questions on those?
Can I ask one question? What is, and I know this will be different, what do you think your gross revenue is? If you don't mind sharing that you guys do now in Westville?
What we do now in the retail
What's retail?
was 1.1
Can you tell us, and for the audience and the public as well, a little bit more about what your business is and what you'll be bringing as part of your development?
Yes. So we are, like I said, a garden center with home decor. So our initial building, our main building is going to be mainly outdoor living, anything you can kind of find in that outdoor section of like Lowe's and Walmart and that kind of stuff, but a little higher end products. So we're going to do a lot of outdoor living, wind chimes, and then there'll be home decor, and we have sauna side as well. A lot of fertilizer and chemical. We do programs and steps that makes it easy on the customer. So we kind of pride ourselves on that customer service, high-end product as far as the garden center aspect. And then outside we'll do annuals, perennials, shrubs, and container trees. So any type of landscaping you might need, with the exception of large projects as white balls, that kind of stuff. We do a lot of plant material. We also have a crew that will come on plant material for you. So bring it to the community, a nice kind of all-around outdoor living, outdoor oasis shop. It's a one-stop shop. You can come in, we'll give you a professional insight on what looks good where and what plants will survive in that aspect. And then we also are planning on tying in some smaller events as well. Like in the Westfield one, we do some open houses. We've had the chamber come do their holiday party at our place. So it's kind of a nice meeting place as well.
How long ago did you start this process with the town?
Approximately 26 months, I think, from initial looking at the property and discussing with Bargersville as far as what our process looks like is getting down here. I know that the last 3 or 4 months we've accomplished quite a bit with the help of everyone here in the town, and we're looking forward to breaking ground hopefully sometime very soon.
What do you think if you did break ground, what do you think the time frame would be? Would it be in the spring?
Yes, so we're going to plan, if everything goes well, to be functional by January or February. And that gives us a month of March to kind of get our feet under ourselves and open April 1st of 2023.
When you do events, do you do like fall events?
Currently, yes. We do a nice fall event that's got a you pick pumpkin patch and sunflower cutting, hay ride. It's centered towards kids entertainment, family entertainment, which is nice. We do have the land that we purchased here, able to do that. We do plan on bringing that as well. And then other events, like I said, we do some open houses where we'll have some live entertainment, some food, especially any food here in the community that wants to partner with us. Makes that a nice partnership as well. Like I said, it makes a nice gathering place for the community.
Do you intend to hook up the water source?
Yes.
Bargersville?
Yes.
Yes, correct.
Correct.
Or-
Yeah.
Sorry.
Down there we'll go hook up.
Yeah.
Once it's done. We have an update on that. Are there any other future enhancements or buildings or additional things that you would project that you were able to receive an abatement?
At this point, we do have a future plan of expansion onto current infrastructure. Again, that looks as far as how well the community and the surrounding communities support us, and obviously economic impacts in the next 5 to 10 years. It's more of an expansion building onto the current buildings, not necessarily a satellite building like these. But yes, we're planning ahead for expansion. The North Shore, they've not necessarily pigeonholed themselves, but it's a little more complicated. So Brian has engineered the expansion aspect into the current plans.
So from my perspective, I believe that this is the kind of use that we would like to see in our town. This is somewhat unique. I think if you were Home Depot coming to us, we would not be talking to you right now about our abatement, but I think that, you are a small business and you obviously chose in Bargersville for a reason. You've moved here, you live here, and I think this is a good use that helps to buffer in our 135 corridor. So I personally believe that we should try and incentivize and help and work with you. I don't believe that I can support a 10-year abatement for what you're doing, but I think I believe that there is something in between that might work.
I might be more for the 7-year.
So I guess the question for legal counsel is since we still have to create an EDA and do additional things, can we vote on anything tonight?
It would be kind of meaningless
Right.
to,
So I think maybe we could go by consensus and say that
you want to move forward.
we will move forward with using the 7-year schedule. And then let's work together with REC and our council on creating the EDA. And then we would see you back in hopefully a short period of time. And hopefully that gets you going and allows you to start.
Yes, so I know Amanda that talked, our vertical improvement tends to start hopefully by the end of September, beginning of October. I know that you guys have to approve the zoning and all of that for that. But is that, because I know you guys have to pass it before we start.
I think that you have submitted the forms prior to you starting the building satisfies the statute requirement, but I'll let our legal counsel confirm that. And we'll get back to you on that. But I'm pretty certain that if you've submitted your application prior to when you start.
Okay.
That makes it all.
Very good. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you very much. All right.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion to hire Dan Cartwright as the town manager of the town of Bargersville pursuant of the terms of the offer letter.
I have a motion by Mrs. Coles.
I didn't catch the name.
Dan Cartwright.
Dan Cartwright.
Motion by Mrs. Coles, a second by Mrs. Moore. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. 4-0. All right, on the ordinances and resolutions, we have the ordinance 2022-17 to repeal the zoning ordinance, including the official zoning map. The subdivision control ordinance replaced with a unified development ordinance and official zone map, and to repeal all ordinances in conflict herewith. Mr. Seegers.
Wrote that long, so I had a chance to get up
There you go.
New version of walk up.
So you've seen this a few times already. This is the Unified Development Ordinance for New Development Code. We've been working on for quite a while now. Been advertised. Refresh, we do have consultants here. If you have any questions.
I don't have any questions. I'd be ready to make a motion, Mr. President. Prepared for me. Okay. I will make a motion on ordinance 2022-17 to repeal the zoning ordinance, including official zoning map, the subdivision control ordinance to replace unified development ordinance and official zoning map, and repeal all ordinance in conflict herewith.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Ramel, second by Mrs. Moore. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye.
Thank you guys very much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
A lot of work and well, it worked out.
Mr. President, I'm gonna.
We have resolution 2022-07, amending TIP bonds. We have a presenter for that this evening. We do not.
I can explain it if you want to know.
That'd be perfect.
We went out and got a private bank to purchase the bonds instead of going out at a public bid. And part of the deal with Key Bank, who we accepted the offer from, was that in the event of a default, which we of course don't expect to happen, they wanted the interest rate to be triggered to go higher in the event of a default, and so that would have been over the cap as it was in the first ordinance. So this is very boring housekeeping change, basically.
Scrivener's errors. Not really, but
Well,
corrections.
Yeah.
Yeah, correction to the interest rate from the 7 to 8,
up to,
up to 8. Okay. So we're simply amending that, so that's what we're doing
Up
here.
to 8% default rate.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I think oh, that's the motion. You want to make it,
Mr. President, I'll make a motion to amend the maximum interest rate for the RDC bond to increase to 8% on a default rate, at abundance of caution, originally posed at 7%.
And adopt
And
resolution 22.
adopt resolution 2022-05.
7.
07.
motion by Mr. Ramell. Second by Ms. Moore. Seeing no questions or comments, all those in favor? Aye. 4-0. Good. We have the minutes from the June 28th meeting. Did everyone have a chance to review?
I'll make a motion to approve the June 28th town council meeting minutes.
Motion by Mrs. Claus, second by Mrs. Moore. Seeing no questions or comments, all those in favor? Aye. 4-0. Great. Next up, we have town business. Oh, I can't either way. Be an alternate.
Okay, that sounds good. You got it first.
So the Saddle Club road closure for Sunny Grove Community Schools. Trent, I think is going to present this.
There you go.
Hello. Good evening, Trent Newport with Crossroad Engineers. I don't know if you remember me bringing this to you a while back, and we talked about it and said it was kind of down the road. If we could come back and ask when we had a time frame for it. So we're now at that point. This has to do with the school has that main entrance off the Saddle Club that goes back to, you turn right, once you get back there, you go to the transportation center, you go left, you go to Maple Grove. That road loops around to the south, goes to the transportation center, and they get into there. Now they're wanting to continue that loop out to the south end of their property on Saddle Club. And this closure is to, by your, along with your ordinance as well as the counties, to fix the road up where that entrance comes out. And so it's a 30-day closure. When we originally started, we knew that we were going to miss the window for the school. We talked to them and said, do you want to punt until next year, or are you okay with bus traffic riding around for a month? And they said, no, we're okay with it. So the school has said they'd like to go ahead and get this done this construction season.
So the closure would be south of the entrance.
It'll be south of the entrance, yeah. If you can I do this? Oh, sorry.
Visual. Oh, perfect.
So you can see just above the farm field is the main entrance right now, and then the star is the new entrance, so that kind of completes that loop. So it's down close to the subdivision down at New Battle. New Battle Lane there. Not close to it, but it's actually where that old farm entrance is, right in there. So what we're doing, yeah, exactly. So what we're doing right now, though, is just building the entrance, and then in a separate contract next year, they will come back and tear the barn down and make the connection internal. Because they just didn't have the amount of funding. They ran out of funding until next year, but they wanted to go ahead and get this done. So we left a little gap there. If you've been on the path, you know that little gravel gap. That's basically where it is. And it kind of humps up. The gravel's kind of higher, but the reason that the path is down is because we already knew what the grade was going to be. So That's the closure area. It's 30 days, so everybody in those developments will have to go south. And the school and anybody that's north of there on South Club will have to go out to Whiteland. This is what we're doing. North is to your left. So the school properties are at the top of the page, if you will. So it's virtually the same as what we did to the other entrance when we beefed it up. If you remember, this used to be all 2 lanes, and the school wanted to come in and improve because bus traffic was backing stuff up on Saddle Club. It's basically the same thing. So left turns, right turns. And it actually closes the gap. If you remember, all portion of that got surfaced from what we did with the school, and then a portion got surfaced for the development to the south. And this closes the gap. So all new surface in that area.
Will the whole road be closed? Or
Yeah.
emergency vehicles go around?
Yeah, the road will be closed. So emergency vehicles will have to use the detour. I mean, I'm sure at points they could be able to get through like they normally would try to get through. But in the very beginning, it'll be tearing out to down in the dirt. But it should go fairly fast. So, it's 30-day closure. We hope that's conservative and they can beat it. But the detour is just using Morgantown.
Little Net Road.
What's that?
Little Net Road.
What does it say? Will.
Will and Nard?
Yeah, we're going to change that to that. So yeah,
The county, so we'll have to take that up to the county.
the rounding.
Everybody, so the entrance right now that goes into the school, they'll still be able to go north on Saddle Club, get to Whiteland and go out. The school buses will.
Yeah.
And all that traffic, Maple Grove won't be affected. It's just Saddle Club.
Yeah,
South.
and I think the reason the school said it's not that big of a deal is there's not that many buses that come in from the south. Most of them come in from the north. If you get there during the time when they come in, the vast majority of them come in from the north. So those ones that come from the south will have to use this detour and they'll all come in from the north. But again, 30 days and hopefully even faster.
And these plans were already approved by our
Yeah,
engineers and development.
they were, yes.
Anyone have any questions? Probably do it by consensus. Consensus?
Yeah.
So we'll give you consensus on that one. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Then the next one's mine as well. This has to do with the path project right in that same area. This is our final, hopefully our final change order. Change order number 4 is for $1,002. We had decided to go from where the crossing is on 144 in town. We decided to go from the 6-inch white lines that are just one on each side to the piano key lines because there are more visible, and so it's more paint. So we had, I guess, upgraded that just to be more visible. But those are all, if you've gone through any of this, they're all on the ground now. And the striping's done. We're done with, we actually are done with I think we're done with punch lists and everything. So the project's closed out. We're probably now in the process of getting closed out through DNR because you had that grant. There's some closeout stuff there that we're doing. But basically the project is open and closed out. And hopefully, I've seen it's being used.
Yeah.
The overall change orders, we had 4 change orders, but the overall percentage of change order from the contract value we had was 2.97% over. So it's pretty good.
Good work. Have a motion.
Motion to approve the additional funds required for the crosswalk striping of $1,000, not to exceed $1,002.
I'll second that. Motion by Mr. Fall, second by Mr. Lavelle. Seeing no questions or comments, all those in favor?
Thank you.
Okay, Trent.
Mr. President, we have 4 change orders submitted for the police station. I'll go through these individually. Have change order number 48, which is to paint the garage door. This is for $1,525.
Do we have to take the rock for come on? I second the motion of Ms. Qualls.
Motion by Mr. Paul, second by Mr. Romell. Any questions or comments? Seeing none. All those in favor? Aye. 4-0. With change order 48.
Change order number 49. This is for the squad room work stat. Hammerman is providing cost to remove 2 floor box covers and furnish and install 2 floor box covers to allow for a direct connection to the furniture. And this is in the amount of $474.71.
We have a motion by Mrs. Cole for change order 49, not to exceed $474.71. A second by Mrs. Moore. Seeing no questions or comments, all those in favor? Aye.
And is to approve change order number 50 for $283.80. Heckman is providing cost to drill floor frame to add wire, which was cut by another subcontractor.
Well, yeah. The other subcontractor should be paying for this.
That's what I thought. So I'm going to motion to deny change order number 50.
Yeah, how about, I don't know, we can do a motion, but I think we need to go back to Hayden and let them know that they need to work through that.
Back charge.
Back charge the subcontractor.
Change order number 51. This is for GFI receptacles in the amount of $1,245.54. Heckman is providing cost to change all garage outlets to GFI, change 1 kitchen outlet to GFI, and outlet in the mechanical room to GFI, total of 10 outlets to be changed for the Town of Bargersville inspector. Obviously, this is something that's brought up, so I will make a motion on this.
Motion by Mrs. Cole, second by Mrs. Moore. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. 4-0. On 50, we'll need to go back to Gabriel and work through that. And we have the police station change order to update contingency. Gabriel is providing additional cost for work that was approved. The original project budget included $150,000 contingency exclusively for use by the contract manager. Scope of work funded from CM contingency. So the cost of this is $10,986. Any questions about this? Requested change. Not that I can answer it, but
They're asking for an increase or
an increase of the contingency of $10,986. But I don't know that we probably need some additional information. So why don't we have Hager come to our next meeting?
Table this one.
We'll table this one and ask them to put this on the agenda at the next meeting, please. And we'll work with Hagerman and have them be here on the 26th.
Lehman. Additional funding for final invoice. These are the individuals that have your work update. And original contract was approved for $4,300 and there is a $6.13 left on PO. Approval of additional funds is requested to pay for the final invoice, which totaling $1,321.74. And that is a motion. I'll make a motion not to exceed that amount.
Okay, with motion by Mrs. Qualls, second by Mrs. Moore. Seeing no questions or comments, all those in favor? Aye. We've had police station quote for landscaping, so this is a quote for more lawn care services for landscaping services. The new police station includes watering and weeding services until October. I think this was to move trees and to redo the landscaping, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And you can see the details in their packet and the information. And I believe we have taken that out of our building and furniture budget, so.
And then it is plus the $525 per unit for trees that are relocated.
Is that included in the 13,080?
No, it is not. I think one is, it looks like.
Oh, landscaping, 1 unit times 525. Price per tree relocated to another spot. Is there, how many trees are there? 10.
So we have an additional $5,250 on top of the.
Some of the trees were placed under wires, overhead wires,
Yeah, right
and
along.
there was 10 more placed than what was required for the ordinance.
And they're placed in such a way that in 5 years, you're not going to be able to see the building. There's no line of sight from the roundabout except just trees that are going to be the height of Bargersville Police Station.
You know, that high. What kind of trees are there?
There's 3 different kinds. There's maple, oak, maybe, and then I can't remember what it's
The landscaper said that they have like a 30-foot like overhang is what they're going to be. So they'll be overgrown.
Joe is the one that told us that once on Pilot Road need to be moved, because they were, in no time, they were going to be in the line, in the lines.
Yeah. So for clarification, this would be a request for $13,880 for landscape services and then an additional $5,250 for the relocation of 10 trees.
Were they moving the trees to a different location or the same location?
First.
Kept the bars.
All right.
No, wood
Oh, wait, and
and the wood.
with
I actually think by the figures, one tree is already included in that 13,880. Because inside the landscaping is 13,355. Then you had 525, that makes 13,880. So it would be 9 additional trees.
Not additional.
$4,750.
4,750.
At least
And
that's
the
what it looks like
relocation
to
of
me.
9 trees.
Well, there'd be 10 relocated, but only 9 are gonna be extra.
Gotcha. How about the relocation of trees?
There you go.
$4,750 and then the $13,880 for landscape services. Okay. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve $4,750 for relocation of the trees and $13,880 for landscape, not to exceed.
I'll second
For
that.
those.
Okay, I have a motion by Mrs. Qualls, second by Mr. Rommel. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor?
I would say
3-0 and 1 abstention. All right, moving right along. Town hall improvement sign solutions. We have an invoice for $60.
Sure. I'll make a motion to approve $60 for sign solutions.
You want to second that?
Not to exceed.
Motion by Mr. Qualls, second by Mr. Rommel. Seeing no questions or comments, all those in favor? Aye. 4-0 for $60.
we don't have personnel.
We have to look at that.
Check the budget.
All right, let's see. What's next?
Mr. Seegos, thank you.
I'll kick in on those trees if they move all night and I'll start them off.
All right, I have one item for you this evening. As you recall, last meeting we passed ordinance establishing a 25% permit reissuance fee in the event that the 18-month permit timeframe is exceeded. On the back of that, we did get a request from an applicant that has had their building permit extended. They tried to do a short kind of timeline there. So in May, their permit expired at 18 months. We're charged with the full permit fee to reissue, which was $2,064.50. They're requesting that difference be refunded. The difference would be $1,548.37.
Don't motion or consensus.
Is there
Motion.
any questions? Yeah, do we anticipate any additional folks?
This is the only one that was charged.
Okay. I'll make a motion to remove the refund of $1,548.37 for the, can I just do the renewal for the builders? 00.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, they are.
1966-2020. Second.
Motion by Mrs. Walls, second by Mrs. Moore. Seeing no questions or comments, all those in favor? Aye. 4-0. Thank you. Thanks, Joe. Chief, you're up.
What I wait for.
That I am. I have boring stuff. The statistics are pretty much on par. I told you I get those traffic stop numbers up. The accidents are down from last year significantly, in half. That's good. Alarms are up. I really think that is related to two alarm company problems that happened this last month. Honey Creek had like 3 different alarms on it, 3 different times. I think that's related to an alarm problem. So there was another company that was having an issue too. So hopefully it doesn't continue on the next one. But those are numbers to watch. Personal injury accidents are down from last year. Unfortunately, extra patrols are down too. I think that's probably consistent with more traffic stops, and that means they have less time to do more less patrols. So that's what it does. Calls are down, so that's good. From last year. Questions about it?
Are we seeing any effects recently with the shutdown? The exits over on 37, is that?
There's a lot of traffic. I think that's probably related to some of the accident or some of the traffic stops. People are not in their normal routine, normal area. But we haven't had an accident uptick from that, so that's good. Some of the accidents that we have had that were more consistently on Whiteland Road because people are taking that route. We have that narrow bridge there, and people smack mirrors there all the time. That seems to be had 2 or 3 of those in the last month. Which you might go 2 or 3 months without having one of those, but we have them there.
Pretty well, the traffic on that is now steady.
Yeah.
Normally it would be like one
Scarce.
car.
Yeah.
You'd be the only car there. But it's a steady flow now to get to the highway.
Yeah, and good news is all the roundabouts in that area are all still open, so they're just sitting there. It's not a huge deal. I do worry about August 22nd though, when we have Saddle Club closed. That always causes an issue. People use Saddle Club instead of using 135. Then you end up using Morgantown Road instead of 135. They don't want to go on 135 for some reason.
Well, traffic.
Yeah, and so now you end up with a lot more traffic on Morgantown Road.
More accidents or more issues at that 4-way stop.
Yeah, but overdoses are down. We didn't have our particular overdose person that caused
one runs in, what are you gonna get?
We have officer wheels, gonna come back.
Off the wheels is a pain.
Yeah, actually, I thought he was on his last line.
He is, and he's really old, and, he needs to be rebuilt. And the guy, I've gotta take it up there, he says he can rebuild it, but the problem is he can't get to it. You know, he's covered up with our cars and everybody else's cars that he's built, and that's kind of a winter project is usually, when he works on that kind of stuff. I may put, something in the plan for next year. There may be a better way to do that. If we had poles, but then it becomes more of a permanent fixture. It's movable. They have them that go on poles that are solar and they run off the batteries and they still radar and still flash and whatever. But then now you gotta, beside the truck, and now you need somebody to do some construction and stuff, so. And then a lot of the poles you need permits to be on, so I don't know what the answer there is. But I can get off the wheels going, and I intend to.
I just know I hear in the neighborhoods, I hear the complaints of people speeding through and the school about to start back up. I know it's only gonna start up again, so
3 o'clock to 4 o'clock is
yeah,
gonna be busy.
drag race.
That's exactly right.
We have a noise ordinance now. We do, I know it's hard to,
Yes, it's a,
but you probably know what I'm talking about. We got 2 Mustangs that are just hammering.
yeah, whole South Street.
Yeah, they're wide open. He came by about 1 o'clock.
It's like they know like when it's lunchtime, or when it's dinner time. It's like they know. I'll hear them at my house and I look at my watch. I'm like, I know.
Yeah, you can hear them through all of them.
Oh, yeah.
Is it one family that bought 2 of them or something? I think they're both.
Yeah, you might know. We do have noise ordinance, but it's like 11 o'clock. There's a law that says we have a modified muffler. It's muffler violation. The bad thing is the new Mustangs, some of the newer ones, you can adjust it.
They have a captain's, like a captain's choice on.
Yeah, you can adjust the exhaust.
That they've done.
Sorry, you can't hear from your house.
No big complaint.
Yeah.
Not that, but we have other.
Yeah.
We have other drag races going on.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, 400
Right.
racks.
We're probably gonna have to address the whole golf cart thing sooner rather than later at some point. But I'm not handling that one tonight.
I don't blame you.
We'll defer that to another time, but we probably do need to have a conversation about that, and kind of a pass and where they're going. I know that there's a lot of golf cart folks, and the majority of them are following the law and doing the right thing, but there's a lot of that going on this summer. Yeah.
How many programs do we really have out there? I mean, I know we got more golf carts than Vermont.
I don't know the answer to that. I'll have to check, but I can find out.
So currently when they're permitted to parade, are they able to be on the road then?
They are, if the speed limit is under 35, excluding, Old Plank, the section of Old Plank.
So on the new trail, somebody was riding by, as they were coming this way, the golf cart was going this way, it's like, everybody was like, whoa. Yeah, no problem.
Good. Yep, that's why I'm running. I know it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
And we don't have a leg to stand on right now.
And then your house connects to Johnson County, which doesn't allow them all their trails.
Yeah.
So we got a
But
problem
they
there.
do enforce that
We do.
on the county path.
Oh,
Right.
county would.
Right, I mean, there's a whole labyrinth of issues.
There is,
That have to
there
be
is.
unpacked on that. But
There absolutely is. And Monon Trail stuff similar to that has gone on in the past, a long time ago, but they don't allow golf carts on these trails.
Right. So many golf carts. This, they're everywhere, they're going.
You can cross, like Barkley, you can cross 135, you can cross 134, 880 degrees, but that's it. Can't drive down the road. And that's our ordinance.
Work with,
We need to do a little committee and study that, figure out the writings, or I just don't want to see someone get hurt, so.
Yeah, I know in your neighborhood, there's been a lot of them with, we try to be civil. It's really tough. Nobody likes to be told that they're doing something wrong, or their kids are doing something wrong. But, in your neighborhood, there's a lot of kids running and that's against the law. You have to have a driver's license. In order to rent it off.
And all those interconnected neighborhoods, they're all, they're just driving them like vehicles. So what, like, some point in time, they're gonna get run over or run over something.
And I'll be honest, most of them in your neighborhood,
So,
there's a lot of them in your neighborhood that we've had contact with the ones with the kids driving. Don't even have permits for them. They're just riding because everybody else. Like the old town people know that you have to have a permit for it, right?
right.
They get that. But it seems like you get out a little bit and they just go. We've had contact with them, but that doesn't mean that it's just making a mistake here.
we told a couple of dog parks that we get.
But then who's the bad guy, right?
You pull over 13-year-old kid.
Yeah, I know.
Fire your job. That changes,
Yes.
mentality, but yeah, we need to think through that as a council and work with Todd to come up with a policy. You're gonna have to have a golf cart enforcement week.
You do that.
We do have a lot of alternative vehicles too, that are mules and things like that.
Yeah.
They're all over this, all over the place.
There's a guy, and I just want you to know, there's a guy that has a RZR, which is a Polaris RZR, which is not a golf cart. Says that he got his, this is tricky. This really makes our job kind of tricky. He got a license plate, got it registered in Washington or Oregon. So if you have a trailer in Kentucky, you don't have to have a plate on it, right? So if you drive your trailer, or your car, or your truck, and your trailer down to Indiana, everybody knows that you don't have to have a trailer plate in Kentucky, but you do in Indiana. So you can't make the guy that's from Kentucky go get a plate for his trailer, right? Well, same kind of rolls into this RZR that's on the road. He's not from here. But where he's from, you can ride him on the road, and it's legal, it's registered in Oregon, but not here. My trick is that he has an Indiana driver's license. So we've told him to put it up, but he insists that it's legal. He's going to push it to the limit. I never did it. We're going to be in court on that. I'm going to tell him.
There you go.
She's got it. But can you beat Trent and all one thing
I don't know. I doubt it.
on that? That's all I want to know.
Thanks, guys.
Mr. Killinger.
Tonight, just one item. We are looking for approval for a budget amount not to exceed for the purpose of, as we purchase easements on water projects, we'd like to be able to process those checks and offers as we move along through this. So tonight we have a schedule of properties and so forth here that we are currently negotiating with. And we're hoping that we can get a not to exceed amount to continue to proceed.
So you're looking for a total of the 136, 180, and this this is how many parcels and how many owners, just for a round number, so everyone understands all the headaches that we have to go through. If it's 26 parcels, and
Yes.
roughly 15 homeowners, or 15 owners, 20 something parcels.
Correct.
Any questions? Are these offers that you're gonna make on those numbers, or this is just worst case scenario?
This is, what we believe the easements are worth. But, my experience, there's always negotiating, so this is a starting point.
If that's the case, do we want to give you a little wiggle room and just make a round number of $140,000,
I would be okay with that.
150, trying to say?
Yes.
Well, I don't want you to have to come back for $60.
I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion that the easement offers for stone crossing transmission mains to not to exceed 150,000.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Romell, second by Mrs. Ball. I would ask you guys to negotiate the amount you can. Best of luck. Seeing no questions or comments, all those in favor? Aye.
Why do you only have one?
Yeah, for that.
Yeah, I may have,
Surely you forgot his number. Have a walk on.
Right.
You have any updates or announcements? Farmer's market on Wednesday. Joy, come visit, buy goods.
Looks like it was pretty busy. I think that helped. Last year. Now I think some more people put it over. It was really good.
Told it was very well attended, and a good night for all, so. Appreciate everyone's hard work on our market. I think that's it for this year. The next meeting will be 1 o'clock on the 26th. Motion to adjourn, second.